hate ads, man. Ads are so freaking annoying. That's funny. Hey Joey, how you doing? I'm looking at some Facebook posts, seeing all the craziness in the world. When I want to see news and craziness, I just open up my Facebook page and see the live bullshit that is going on in the world every day. Everybody blaming Donald Trump for everything. Donald Trump is blamed for everything that happens in the world. If the sky turned green, they'd blame Donald Trump. Makes me laugh. Here's a man who's trying to get rid of the drug cartel and stop wars and all that. And no way, I don't care. I want the world to be shit. Don't do anything. Makes me laugh. If he wasn't doing anything, you'd be complaining. When he does something, you complain. People just constantly complain about that man all day, but they never see the positive things he does. They always talk about the negative, things. But when President Biden was there, you never said nothing. You just kept your mouth shut and just watched an idiot run the world. That's what I'm saying. And you see, did you see all the Venezuelans like rejoicing in like freedom and happy? And then you see all of them like say like this is like been years, should have done this a long time ago, and thank you Trump. And then these other morons are like, what are you doing? You kidnapped this man and his wife. What do you mean you kidnapped him? He was telling Trump to come get me. People act like they don't see the news, they only see what they want. That jackass was on the news talking about you're a coward, come and get me. You ain't got the balls to come over here and come and get me. He was provoking the guy, telling him, come over here, come get me, you coward. And Trump said, yeah, I'll show you who a coward is. I'll come get you. And so now what is a crime? Oh man. These people are so delusional in this world. It's like they only see what they want to see. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I just don't understand, how these people just don't see the light. But whatever. I don't care what they think anyway. Neither does he. He doesn't care what they think either. All that matters is millions of people are happy. That's all that matters. It's not hundreds, not thousands. Millions of people are happy that that happened. They have their freedom. They have their country back. Bunch of idiots. Same thing here in Bermuda. They put this government in, and now everybody's crying because there's all these foreigners here. Well, how did the foreigners get here? Your government that you voted bring them here. So why are you crying? Go vote. Go tell your president of Bermuda to take care of his people. Why you didn't do it? Why you want to cry on social media for? And then see the foreigners here and bash them. They came here because they had an opportunity. People in Bermuda, all over the world, people are just nuts, dumb, crazy, stupid. They just don't even know what they're saying. It's really pretty sad. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he did. I heard all about it. And now that I know, I never really knew too much about Venezuela stuff, but I used to date a Venezuelan girl in Boston years ago. You know, we were good friends and dated like briefly. But anyway, uh, even back then, like years ago in 2008, she was saying how Venezuela is a shithole and that she doesn't want to be there anymore. She came to Boston to work. That's how I met her. She says, I just came to Boston. I'm here to work and I got to get out of Venezuela. That's the only thing but I never researched it and really didn't care, at the time. But now I know why she said that back in 2008. There were some people saying like it's been 20 something years this has been going on. You hope Canada will have another election to get rid of Carney. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yep. Well, a lot of people talk bad about Canada and their government. A lot of people talk bad about the government. Even that's why it took so long for us to get the it took so long for us to get our inheritance because of the Canadian government. It wasn't because of the lawyers. It was because of the Canadian government was being ignorant and stupid, and they're just their whole system is upside down. That's what people were telling me about Canada. Now it's like, look, Bermuda's got our own problems. I don't really talk shit about other countries, but I don't. Bermuda's no better. Bermuda's got a lot of problems too. This government just allows people to do whatever they want. It's all corrupt. It's all about money. It's all about vote me in and I'm going to destroy my country and I'm going to have my pockets are full. Since when the government cares about anybody? They just want our money. Without our money, they're fucked. They don't have a job because they take everything from us. But nobody understands that. They just want to keep voting for a bunch of idiots that don't do nothing for you. That's why I don't vote. I only voted once in my life, and that's it. Yeah, exactly. But I got mine anyway, so I'm good. Finally got my inheritance after all this time. So I could care less about those people. I don't have to deal with them no more. Hey Matt, how you doing? Yeah, exactly. They ignore the others. Yeah, I got my inheritance 3 days ago. Finally. Well, I got it December 9th, but the check got deposited and it took 3 weeks for it to clear because it was a Canadian check. They said it's going to take 21 working days to clear. So from December 9th to January 1st, that's when I got my money in my actual account. So it took like 2.5 years. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. Well, the we always, even when the thing is that it fluctuated probably like maybe $100, you know, like from what they originally said. Like it fluctuated the conversion, but we lost plenty. Like it's not the same. It's like thousands and thousands of dollars of difference. But you know what? It doesn't matter. You're still getting the same amount. Yo, yeah, way lower. Yeah, yeah. Like if we were in Canada, that money is the same equivalent to what we have anyway. So everybody, the three people in Canada who got that money, they didn't get less than us or more than us, or because the dollar is different. Because if you came to Bermuda, you'd have to buy Bermudian dollars or American dollars to make up for your shit money. So at the end of the day, we still got the exact same amount, even though it doesn't seem that way, but it is. Because if you convert it, it's still the same. So like a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, I wish I was in Canada. I would have got all that money." No, it's not like that. Because if you got that money deposited into your account in Canada and you transfer it to Bermuda, it's still going to be way way less, thousands of dollars less. Trust me, I know. It's the same amount of money, just in a different currency. That's all it is. But see, everybody got a different amount because we got the same amount, but a little bit different due to where we live. So everybody in Portugal, they got less because the euro is even more money than the dollar. So Me and my siblings, all four of us in Bermuda, got more than everybody in Europe because the euro is very high. So they got less money than we did. They probably got like $2,000 to $3,000 less than we did because that's the situation. It's the currency, and even if you were in England, and the pound would be way more too, you get less. So in Bermuda, we probably got the same amount that the Canadians did, as far as like getting a decent amount. But those in Portugal got way less. I guarantee it. Oh, hey, Starlight, what happened? I feel so sorry, man. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. So how the heck did it go missing? Didn't you not have him on a leash? Oh man, Starlight. Well, let's see what we can do. Give me a second. I'll check. I feel like the dog is like in some wood area, like they're in the bushes or somewhere. She chased a cat out on our walk. Oh no. I feel like she's like scared and she's in like some bush, scared somewhere. I feel like she's alive, but she's in a bush somewhere. Like she must have like relaxed in a bush and she's just like sitting there cold and like that's what I see. I see a dog in a bush, like scared and trembling. So that's not good. Yeah, you'll get her back. She's okay. Well, she or he. Um, oh, her, yeah. Yeah, it's freezing. I see her in a bush freezing, shaking. But you'll get her back. She's fine. Well, she's not really fine, but she's in a bush somewhere freezing because I can see her trembling like freezing in a bush. But you'll get her back. She'll come back to you. So I got all positive cards, so that means she's okay. Dogs are soldiers anyway. That sucks. If I was there, I'd be out there looking for her. Like she knows where to go, right? She knows where obviously, dogs are not dumb. They can trace their own piss and go back to where they are. That's what they do, I believe. But I believe she's okay and you'll get her back tomorrow or tonight, or she'll come back to you at some point. Because I got all positive things, so she's not dead or anything. But I see her in a bush, like scared and freezing. Oh boy, that sucks. Okay, Joey, I'll be around. And you asked how am I doing? I'm all right. I'm as good as I can be. It's not. I'm kind of obviously sad. I have no diamond and no dad, and It's very difficult not having Diamond around, but I'll be all right. It's life. Thanks, you too. I appreciate it. I think she's close by, Starlight, because when I see her in the bush, I see like a house right next to it. So I feel like she's like close by, like next to a tall tree, and there's a bush on the side, and she's inside the bush, and she's scared. So, oh no, wooded area is at the back of vets. Okay, cool. Well, she might be okay there then. Yeah, your neighbor's funeral was today. Shit. Uh, okay, well that's where she is in back of the vets, so she looks like she'll be okay. Yeah, I see a tree, a bush, and a build, and like a a place, a house area. So, and I see her like in the bush like that, like she's shivering. Poor sight. So maybe go if you can go out there. It's still, I mean, I know it's freezing and it's nighttime, but maybe you can go there. Maybe you can go see if you can find her. But I feel like you will because I got all positive things. That's so annoying, man. Diamond chased this damn cat around here and plenty of times. Yeah, I would check around this area because that's where I feel she is. I would say go there for sure. Hopefully she's gonna be okay. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, please do. I'll be around. Yeah, that's where I see her. But she's obviously she's freezing, poor sight. But she'll be okay. You'll get her. You'll get her today or tomorrow. Either way, you'll get her. I would say just go there and just find her. She'll be fine. She'll come out to you. Just make sure you take like a towel with you so you can wrap her up in it. Hey Dan, how you doing, bro? Always something, man. Sucks. Mr. Bird is over here now. It's been raining pretty much off and on all day today. And after it finishes raining, that stupid bird comes over here. They must be like, where the hell's Diamond's leftovers? There is nothing left, bro. You ain't got no more leftovers. You can't go and aggravate me. All you're gonna be doing is looking for bugs and worms, buddy. Damn birds. A nuisance. Dan, you're blessed, busy, cleaning before the sanding and painting tomorrow. Oh, cool. What are you sanding and painting tomorrow? Okay, Starlight, make sure you stay warm as well. Yeah. Just suit up and just take a flashlight and just make sure you got two flashlights, just in case one. And just keep calling her name. She'll come out to you. I'm sure she will. Yeah, she's probably just scared, you know? Oh, okay, cool, then. At least you got some help. A woman's help too. Shit. I need to redo my cabinets too. It's been 10 years. I gotta redo mine too. But I need some better weather. This weather sucks, man. I need like about 3 or 4 days of nice sunny weather. Then I can take them all outside, sand them down, clean them off, and paint them. That'd be nice. I gotta find a day where there's no wind and no freaking bugs around. That's like a miracle. I have to wait till like maybe March or April. I gotta wait another hour before Patriots play. Patriots are playing 5:30. Hour and a few minutes. They play the Dolphins today. It's not very important anyway. They're in the playoffs. We're good. I mean, what a victory would be nice. The Dolphins have gotten the best of us the past few years. Move the oven. Women do usually, yeah. Some women do a good job. Oh, okay, good. Hopefully they do. Hopefully your boys win today. I was up till 1:30 in the morning last night. The Celtics won, the Bruins won in overtime, and both of my soccer teams drew 1-1. So no L's so far. I'm sure the Patriots will probably win today too. So if the Patriots win, I'll have a no L's this week. Shit. That happens every game. Somebody gets smacked in the stands. I've seen so many highlights of that shit. It makes me laugh. And these people are like, they take this shit too serious. Didn't somebody like hit a kid or something like that, or hits a fan or something like that last week because of a racial slur or some bullshit they said? But then they found out it was all fake. Can't remember what that was about. I can't. I know it's something there, racism or something. The guy was lying. So that fan's gonna get paid. I don't know why people use that as lie about shit. So stupid. Exactly. Yep. Some people are just stupid, man. They just let themselves get carried away and all that type of shit. Old dumbasses. The fans are there to like cheer you or boo you or aggravate you. Like just leave them alone, let them talk, and just walk off, act like they don't even exist. You know, it's not good to like for a player to get involved in the crowd. Exactly. Yep. Some people never learn, Dan. That's how it is. Some people never learn. They live in this weird mentality world. Yeah, exactly. Same here. You can't, your team can't win every single game and every single like play, or there's going to be a lot of mistakes. I shout at the TV all the time. There's some days I don't even want to watch because it's like it's annoying. But it's a part of sports. You know, sometimes you got bad luck. It's been years and years and years for some of my teams that haven't won a championship forever. The team that hasn't won a championship forever and that I root for, that's been a long time, is the Bruins. The Boston Bruins haven't won a championship since 2011. So it's been almost 14 years. All my other teams have won championships in the last 5, 10 years. Yeah, exactly. As long as they try. I mean, you can be really, really good and just not have the luck. I can't remember when the Patriots last won a championship. I think it was 2018, I think. I can't remember. Let me see. Yeah, 2019. 2019 was the last time they won. So yeah, I remember that. I knew it was 2018, 2019, something like that. But yeah, 2019. So 6 years they haven't won. So yeah, the Bruins has been 14 years. And the Red Sox won in 2018. That's it was 2018. Yeah, exactly. Well, the AFC champs this year was the Patriots, and that hasn't happened in a long time either. So that's been 6 years too, I'm sure. So yeah, I get it. But all the Boston teams have won, in the last couple years. The Celtics won in 2014, 2008, which I watched both of them. But that was a long time before the next one, 16 years. So I'm glad it hasn't. It's only been a year now. So yeah, she was here. She was here in my earlier. I went live like about 5 times, but I had to delete the first couple videos. I kind of got out of control. My first video, I forgot that I was online and I said a few bad things, so I had to delete it. I have to apologize to Barbie because she was in here and I think she heard what I said, but I want to apologize to her and whoever else was here. I said some nasty shit, which I shouldn't have, but I was just so mad at the time. I hate seeing people rob people here in Bermuda. You know, I said some bad shit. I can't repeat it, but I said some bad. I said something bad. But you know, I shouldn't have said it, but it just came out the way it did. And I had to delete this. Watching an attempted robbery that was caught here in Bermuda, where my mom lives, like in this next neighborhood over. And I saw these bastards go up the steps, you know. They went up the steps. They had helmets on, jackets on, and then they tried to pry into this guy's window. Then they tried the door. Then they were banging the door, and the guy was inside the whole time, but they probably didn't know, right? So he had a big ass kitchen knife, and he stabbed one of the guys as they tried to come through. And then the guy, like they all three of them ran. And then when the guy went back inside to call the police, one of the guys came back with a bucket of water and splashed it on the ground so the guy won't take his blood sample. I was like, look at these fuckers, you know? And I called him a certain name, which I won't repeat. But at the time, that's what I said something bad, but then I corrected, I deleted everything. But it's just a natural thing, you know, when you see something bad, you say something bad, you know? And then I caught myself. I said, oh, fuck, I'm online. And the only person that was in the chat was Barbie, but I think she went to church, but I'm sure she heard me. I hope she didn't, but, I haven't seen her since to apologize. But, some people, say things. I just said it out of emotion and just frustration, I'm like, look at this fucking bullshit. I couldn't believe it. That poor guy, he could have died. Those guys could have robbed him, killed him. You know, I was so pissed off at the time when I saw that video. I'm like, the audacity of these fuckers like to do that. But anyway, I got emotional this morning because I hate seeing that, man. That poor guy, man. If he didn't stab that guy, those guys would have like beat him up or killed him or took his shit. Nobody would have known. Like, thank God he stabbed the guy. But how much of a fucker you are to come back with a bucket of water and wash it off, you know? At the end of the day, I said something that, I don't like to say, but I say it on a regular basis anyway. But I just thought that for Sunday it was inappropriate. And like I said, I didn't even realize I was online because it was so like boring at the time. And I just that video just captured my emotions. Because I hate when I see people do bad shit, you know? And I'll call them names, which I shouldn't have, but it's not like they can hear me. Yep. But they had that. It's like that's why I got more mad, you know? Because Bermuda, we don't have like you can't protect yourself with a gun. There's no guns are not allowed in Bermuda. We don't nobody can own a gun here. No one. The only people that have guns is like the gangsters and shit. They smuggle it in, and the cops and the army. That's it. I can't own a gun. Nobody can. You're not allowed to. There's no guns to buy here. There's no gun store. And I said, if I wish we had guns so we can kill these type of people. And I caught myself because I was like, I shouldn't have said that. You know, but whatever. You know, it's over and done with now. And it's just the way it is. You get mad because you don't want to see nobody get robbed. And it's always here. It's always the same people that do the same shit, and then they complain about how Bermuda is. But you're not making it any better by doing it. And the sad part is like you're doing it like to the locals. Like the locals are robbing the locals. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? You know? And then you sit there and complain that you don't have a job you have to rob because Filipinos, Portuguese, and Jamaicans are here. No, asshole. There's a job for you. You just don't want it. You don't want to work. You rather rob. And it makes me more mad that they plotted that whole thing. And then you automatically knew where a bucket was so you can fill it up with water where the tap is. Like how weird and that was it was in seconds. Because the guy got stabbed and he was like this, right? and then he must have, dripped blood, and then they all ran, right? And they went back, and then the guy comes back up the steps with a water, with a bucket. And I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? And then he went like that. He went, it's like he knew where the tap was. He knew where the bucket was. Like it's obviously somebody that was stalking this area or stalked that person in that house. And it was on New Year's Eve at 12:30 in the morning. So they probably thought that person was out, and they went to go rob him. I think so, Dan. I think that blood ain't going nowhere. Because that blood, if you washed it off the step, it just went down the bottom. Yep. It could be. And that's why I was so mad. And I just like blurred out something. And then that was it. I just get frustrated when I see shit like that. Because I say to myself all the time, I wish we did have guns sometimes. Because people like that, I'll blow their fucking head off if they were at my front of my door trying to break in. I ain't even saying nothing. I ain't even gonna let them pry my door open. I'm not gonna let them touch my door. Soon as I see them on the camera, I'm opening my door and I'm gonna have my Glock ready. I said, I dare you. I dare you come here and I dare you do something. I'll fucking blow your head off. Try me. And they'll probably leave. And if they don't, I'll blow their fucking head off because that's what they deserve. You're not gonna endanger my life or kill me or whoever's in my family's inside my home or something like that. Hell no. I'm gonna blow your fucking head off because that's what you deserve. People who rob people deserve the worst treatment because that's just bullshit. You know? I don't agree with people robbing people like that. That's disrespect. You're coming on my property and trying to rob me. You must be out of your mind. I'll blow your damn head off. You're lucky we don't have guns here because a lot of people would die. I'm telling you. And it won't be no loss because these people are nothing but nuisances. You spend all this money on a window, and that's the first thing I said was like, you spend all this money on a window and a door, and these bastards are bashing the window and bashing the door and got crowbars and shit trying to pry. So you're fucking up the whole the what you spent your life getting and working hard for, and you got these morons coming around here, trying to pry into your home. So what do you expect me to call you? Fuck, it's annoying, man. I got so mad this morning, but it got the best of me because I hate seeing things like that. You know? Yeah, exactly. I heard a dog in the background barking, but it probably was like a chihuahua or some little small dog that ain't gonna do nothing. Because if it's a small dog, those guys will kill it by just kicking it. But if it's a big dog, then you're in trouble. You know. That's why when I lived in the ghetto, I had a pit bull, and he was 80 pounds, and you wouldn't dare come in my yard. That's why we never got robbed in the hood. My dog was huge. I dare you come in there. And nobody really messed around in our neighborhood because we live right on the road, so everybody can see you. So you'll never get away with it. You're right there, so everybody will know. But I worry about my mom sometimes because that happened in my mom's parish, but further away. It's like in the same area, but like about a couple gates down. And I don't really recognize the house or the guy either. So I don't know. I don't know who the guy is. I saw his face on the camera and stuff, like the guy's house. And he had his phone in his hand, and he had a big ass like 12-inch knife in the other hand, talking to the police. And he had it on speaker, so he was like this. He was like, "Guys, just stabbed one of them, so I know he's bleeding. He bled blood all over my thing." He was telling the police like everything, and I was like, "Good." Fuckers. I can't stand that, man. Ever since we've been living here, we've had no problems. And ever since I've been living in the ghetto where my mom lives, we've never had nobody rob anything. The only thing that happened was I just told my mom is I was probably like about maybe 5 or 6 years old, and it was a Saturday morning, and we were all eating breakfast, and we didn't have a garage back then, right? Yeah, I hope they did so they can get caught, but we'll see. I don't know how bad the wound is, but we'll see. And some of those gangster guys have like a guy who knows how to do those things, like a doctor on the side that they pay. Hey, these guys, man, I know how they operate. I used to live in those rough areas. So I know how they are. They know somebody that knows somebody, and they'll pay them off or whatever. But before my dad built the garage, we didn't have one, so we had like a gate where you came in through the hedge and you parked the car. It was like stepping stones that my dad put down so we could park the car in front of the house. So one of us left the back door to the car, because back then the cars didn't have central locking, right? You had to lock each one of them individually, right? So we had a Volkswagen Beetle. That's how old I'm going back, right? So we had this Volkswagen Beetle car, right? And it was beige, and one of us left the door open in the back, probably like one of us, we don't know who, but whatever. So when my mom opened up the shutters and opened up the windows to like open the shutters and put like I left it open, my mom sees these feet up in the air inside the car, and there's somebody in the car, like relaxing in the back, sleeping. So then my dad was home, thank God. So he goes out there with a broom and wakes the guy up that's drunk in the car and passed out in the back of the car. So he says, get my dad said, get out of my car before I beat your ass with this broom. So he got up and he walked off and he apologized and said that he was drunk. And my dad said, next time don't ever come around here this yard or my car. So my mom was like, get the hell out of my house and get away from here. Don't you come back in my car. I remember like my mom and dad like telling him off and him walking away. I was about 5 years old. And that was like the only incident that I ever remember. And it's not a robbery, it's just a drunk guy that happened to just go inside the car because it's visible, right? It's not. And after that, my dad built a garage. I was laughing. I said, that shit's crazy. I'd say about 3 years later, he built a garage. He got enough money to build one. We have a nice garage at my mom and dad's. It's pretty big. It's a really nice garage. So yeah, that's the only thing that happened. And then my friend's bike got robbed out of my driveway when we were like 17 years old. But I think it was somebody that was following him. I don't think it was anybody in my neighborhood because my bike's outside all the time, outside the garage. No one ever stole my bike, and my bike looked better than his. So I think that somebody was stalking him in his bike and actually, said, yeah, next to wherever he goes now, we're gonna get it. Because it was my bike, my friend's bike, and my other friend's bike that got stolen. His bike was the ugliest bike. So I think it was somebody who had like some personal thing against him and just wanted to steal his bike. Because my bike and my other friend's bike was way better. They could have got away with a better bike, but they didn't. They took the ugliest one. So my friend was so pissed when he came outside. And I was like, you should have locked it. And he goes, oh, I didn't think nobody was going to take it. And I'm like, well, I didn't think nobody was going to take it. I said, nobody in my neighborhood would do that shit. So the next day, I went around my neighborhood and asked all the guys, hey, have you seen this bike? We had a picture of it, a physical picture. Back then, we had no phone with pictures and shit. So we had a physical picture of it because we had took pictures like probably the Sunday before at like the bike show. And we just happened to take pictures of all our bikes for the hell of it. So anyway, I showed the picture to all my friends around the neighborhood, and they said they never saw that bike before and it's ugly and they would never steal it. So I told my friend, I said, look, man, ain't nobody said they seen this bike nowhere. And we never got it back because nobody, whoever took it, they did whatever they did. I know, right? Because the thing is my friend had a Sonic the Hedgehog green bike with the art all over it. He got this guy to airbrush all that stuff, and he had chrome. All his bike was worth probably $3,000 at the time, and my bike had a little bit of chrome, but not that much. But my bike wasn't wasn't as fancy looking as my friend's bike. And then the guy's bike who got stolen with my other friend, his bike was shit. It had no like front guard on it. It was like a ugly peachy color, and it was ugly as shit. And there was no chrome on it at all. So they took like the ugliest shit and they got away with it. So whatever. They probably just needed it for parts. See? They weren't worrying about like, having, a fancy looking bike. They just wanted something for parts, probably. That's what I think. So that's the only thing that happened in my neighborhood at my house, at my mom and dad's house, was that. That's it. A guy sleeping in the car, and then my friend's bike got stolen. We never really had any other incidents. And see, I didn't have my dog at the time either. So I got my dog when I was 19, and this happened when we were 16, 17, something like that. Yeah, pretty much. That's probably what they did then. Yeah. I had a 100 cc Yamaha bike, and it got stolen from the gas station where I worked. And it was like at nighttime, and somebody stole it because I was inside counting the cash, and they must have plotted it all out. And my bike was decent looking, and it was fast, and it had like a big pipe on it. And I never forget it. I came outside and it was gone, and I looked everywhere. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" So instead of calling the police, I went to go look for it, and the next morning I found it in a track. We have like trails and tracks here like that used to be like railroad tracks, like for trains and shit from way back. So we guys went. It was probably like about 5 minutes away from where it got stolen. So we went all through the trees, and then bang, I found it. And the only thing that was gone was the motor, the frame, the wheels, mirrors, everything was still there. The only thing that was gone was the all you saw was the all you saw was like the actual motor was still there, but they took the block, the piston, the head, the carburetor, and then the engine was there with the crankshaft hanging out. That's it. So I called my friend. He came with the truck, and he towed it up to he took it to my house. And then I went to the store and got a new block, piston, head, spark plug, carburetor, and I put the bike all back together. And then I found out probably like a month later, I found out who did it. And that person ended up stabbing a police officer and got locked up. And I ain't seen them since. They got locked up for like 20 something years. They almost killed a police officer. They stabbed him. And then he ended up going to England forever. So I haven't seen him ever since. But I never got to confront him because shortly after he stole my bike, he got locked up. Apparently, he was a bike thief. He stole a lot of bikes. Yep, it happened here a lot back then. It doesn't happen very, very often anymore because now, see, now every technology has saved a lot of things. So you can get a tracker, like you can get like how people catch people cheating and shit, like a location thing. I can't remember what you call them. I guess a tracker or something. So you can like get this little thing and stick it to your bike underneath your seat, or somewhere where a thief won't know it's there, and you can like track your bike to wherever it is, right? So you get caught. So that's what most bikes are in Bermuda. Most bikes are coming with that feature. Like you can ask them to do it. Like you can say, look, I'll pay an extra $110 for a tracker. And then you have like alarms. My nephew's bikes both have alarms because my nephews have like two of the most popular bikes in Bermuda right now that get stolen. And I told them, "You sure you want to get these bikes?" They're like, "Yeah, I want them." I said, "Well, they're the best bikes you can get." So I said, "Just make sure you put your alarm on, and make sure the trackers, there's a tracker on it." You know? Yeah, exactly. Oh, you said I'm doing Dan. Thank you. Yes. Oh, you're doing Dan. Oh shit. I didn't know you guys were like that. It's okay. I'll keep it a secret. Don't you love spell check? It says the craziest things. I can't remember what I did the other day. I tried to spell one word and it gave me another, and I'm like, "Yo, sorry about that. I meant this." And they're like, "Yeah, I know spell check." I think so. I think so, Dan. I think you better explain yourself, or don't let us see that part of the chat. But yeah, it's difficult to uh to have things stolen from you, man. It's so annoying. I have my bikes, like I said, the block, the piston, and the head got stolen, and carburetor. But at least I got my bike back. So that's cool. At least I got it back. But they don't steal cars here. There's probably been like a couple cars that got stolen, but they got them back the same day. Because you can't really run off with a car. Bermuda's too small. You'll find the car easy. And a lot of them have trackers on them now too, so you can't really steal shit like that. So that's one of the best technology things that's out there right now, in my opinion. How you can put a tracker on a vehicle and know exactly where it is all the time. Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's not on cable, but it's like on the YouTube channel, like the police channel, and it's also like there's like a poster with all this, like all the faces on it, and there's a lot of unsolved crimes, and who did this. And one of the biggest things in Bermuda is unsolved crimes. Like, nobody knows who killed somebody. That's the biggest problem. Somebody dies here from gun gang related things, nobody ever knows who did it. See, they're all suited up, so you never really see their face. They get away with it. And that's the problem. Like, you know, it's sad. Very sad. So I think there's just over 50 unsolved murders in Bermuda. And we only have like maybe 5 murders a year, if that. And it's usually by knife or gun. But majority of them are by stabbings. There's not much guns around. And if you use the gun, it's going to make a lot of noise, right? So people know what a gunshot is. So when they hear one, they're like, oh shit. Well, the thing is the devil works just as hard, man. So that's why people get away with things. It all depends on who your soul is with, because both are very powerful. So, but you can't get away forever, even in both categories and both, whoever you deal with, you can't get away forever. You gotta pay for the consequences some way. Like my mom says, you either pay here or you go to hell. So it's either way. So my mom says you're better off paying for your sins here because you don't know where you're going. If you have that doubt, you know where you're going. But a lot of people don't have a conscience. In my opinion, they don't have a conscience. People just don't care. They don't care about taking someone's life, beating the shit out of them, robbing them, stealing, lying, cheating. People just don't have a conscience. They just don't. Some people live with no fear and no remorse. They go to sleep. They sleep better than us. It's crazy. It's pretty sad, but yeah, exactly. You gotta serve somebody. Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle, unsolved mysteries. It's sad, man. It really is sad. But most of my neighborhood guys I grew up with are dead, in jail, or died from drugs. Two of my friends committed suicide. A lot of my friends died from drugs that I grew up with, overdosed too much drugs. And, some of them just were under the influence when they died. That's how they died, was during under the influence. But majority, I would say probably 75% of the guys I grew up with are all dead, or all like, some are in prison, some of them are dead. 25% of the ones that I still know. I was speaking to my neighbor, yes, my long term neighbor. He's my age. He's like about 2 months older than me. And his brother is a convicted felon, and he had to go to, he's my friend. We grew up together, and he's in England. Yeah, he's like on like a probation period where he can't be in Bermuda too long. He just has to visit, and he has to go back. He can't permanently live in Bermuda anymore. So what it is, because we're a British colony, the UK takes a lot of Bermudians that have like are criminals or have a criminal record and gives them a new life, a new like identity, which to me is like lucky. If you've done dumb shit, you get to move out there because we have the dual citizenship, right? Because we're a British colony. So Bermudians can go to the UK, the people in UK can come here, vice versa. They have like a system where if you get in trouble, you either go to either or country to start like a new life. You get like a second chance. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's why I stopped smoking weed and drinking 8 years ago, and cigarettes too, because I wanted to better my life and I wanted to be an example for my nephews, and I just wanted to be healthier. And I saw all my friends die from it, so I'm like, I can't. I mean, nobody died from weed; they died from alcohol and heroin and shit. One of my best friends died from heroin, and my other best friend died drunken riding, not driving, riding. You know, a lot of my friends are gone from my neighborhood. There's only like a few left. I can count them on my fingers, on my hands, one hand. Uh, Two of them died from bike. I know two that died from bike accidents. A lot of them died from bike accidents, alcohol, and drugs. And like I said, two of the guys died from suicide. Like they killed themselves, pretty much. So yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks, but I can probably like put up this hand and say this guy, that guy, this guy, this guy, this guy as the only ones left, and including me. I can't I can't give you 10 people that are alive right now that I know from my neighborhood. I can't. There is hardly any. Either that or they're living in England, like this guy is. They're living in the UK because they've done bad shit. So I don't see them all the time. I see them once a year, Christmas. That's it. They come here for Christmas and that's it. Sometimes they come from summertime. Depends on if they can afford it. Because it costs like $1,500 to go from UK to Bermuda. Or, round trip. Sometimes it's 3 grand. So a lot of them don't come back twice, 3 times a year because they can't. Because they can't afford it. It's a pain in the ass, man. It's a pain in the ass. That's me, Mark. Yeah, you're in the UK. My nephew goes back to the UK on Friday. He goes back to Bournemouth. He's in college in Bournemouth. So he's going back on Friday. My other nephew, he goes back to Canada tomorrow, to Toronto. He couldn't fly yesterday because Trump is to blame for the aircrafts not flying. Everybody's blaming DJT. That guy gets more blame than anybody on this earth. Meanwhile, he's trying to like make the world better. And people are like, no, Let it be shit. Yep. Yep. She did. Absolutely. Yeah. I agree with what Trump did recently. He caught a dictator and a bad bastard and a drug lord, and he provoked Trump. He said, "You're a coward. Come and get me." So Trump said, "You want me to come and get you? Okay, here we go. Welcome to New York City, jackass. You provoked the man. You told him he is a coward. He said you can't get me. So he proved to you he could. So there you go, bro. Be careful what you ask for." But apparently, it caused some disruption with the air travel and airports, and they closed the airports down, and people are pissed because they're trying to go back to school and go back to work, vacation, blah 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 blah. So apparently, it's all his fault. Meanwhile, the Venezuelans are cheering, crying, saying how much this is the best thing that could ever happen. But you don't care about millions of people; you just care about yourself. Then everybody wonders why I say the things I say and do the things I do. That's what makes me so mad about people. They're quick to condemn somebody, but they don't have all the facts. They listen to the news and get corrupted. Not my problem. I know the truth. That's all that matters. I've been telling people for years that he was going to change the world, and he already is. As people are too blind to see it. Sometimes you got to take away your hatred for somebody and realize that they're actually doing good. What they did was they saved the whole country from an asshole. But nobody listens. They don't care. People are delusional anyway. But whatever. People can argue with me all they want. Just go look at the facts. That's all. Meanwhile, Bermuda's not in the news, so we're good. We're okay. I ain't worried about nothing. I'm here minding my business. I can hear the rain. I hear a bunch of crows making noise. Mark, 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 Mark. That's good. If there's an increase, that's a good thing. That's good. If they're getting more, then that's a good thing. Because people are always, quick to be negative about things and say, this is that, that's it. Nah, it won't be. But see, people don't really care about that type of shit. They don't. It's the simplest things people don't really care about. But you want to dwell on like stupid ass shit. That's why I get mad, you know, about when people say certain things. Like, there's all these morons on social media talking about, oh, you know what they did just now? They kidnapped this man and his wife, and they didn't kidnap nobody. They went to go get a bunch of idiots that's been doing dumb shit for years. You gotta get that, and then what? You forgot what the man said? He said, "Come and get me, coward." You know? Well, you thought that he was gonna take that shit lightly? You're talking to a man that has triple the amount of power you thought you had. People act like they don't know the laws and the rules, and people make me laugh. They're like, how can he do this? He's the president of the United States, jackass. He can do whatever he wants. He doesn't need the Congresses and the people's like opinions, or when you're the commander in chief, you can do whatever the fuck you want to an extent. And that's one of the things that he can do. So get over it, you know? People act like this is the first time this shit's ever happened. It's happened before. Didn't they do that shit with Saddam Hussein? You know? He was in court crying and shit. You can't do this to me. I'm Saddam Hussein. Yeah, you keep thinking that. He was there running his mouth. He went to court, got sentenced, and then got the electric chair. I think I can't remember 100%, but I think they took his life. I can't remember exactly what happened, but that was a long time ago. So what? This guy's no different. Man, go fuck yourself. People like are so dumb. Yeah, exactly. People like they don't know. See, it's all these young people out there. They don't know what the real life is. See, if you're like 20 years old, you don't know nothing about that shit. Yeah, they hung his ass. Yeah, I know they did something to him. I can't remember. Yeah, they hung his ass good. Fucker. That bastard did nothing but bullshit all the time. Him, Bin Laden, all those fuckers, man. Those people are bad, bad people. And so is this guy Maduro. He's bad. He's bad company. He's proven he's a bad person. Everybody in Venezuela said that he's the worst person ever. And everybody fled the country because of him. So if millions of Venezuelans are happy, how can Americans and other people in other countries be mad because Trump did it? Why is it always got to be him? Like the guy's trying to save people. Like what the fuck is your problem? I'd be happy too if somebody took my leader, a dictator, and made me starve every day, and I'm living in a corrupted fucking world and I can't go nowhere. Hell yeah, take this bastard away. Hell yeah, man. People are in the streets with flags, happy as shit. So what's that tell you? Yeah, every country has bad and good things, you know. The leader of Bermuda, he's a bullshitter too. He's not all bad and he's not all good, but he has his good parts and his bad parts. At the end of the day, they're all the leaders have to be like good and bad. They can't do everything for you. They're gonna take from one area and put in another, and they're gonna benefit some people, and some people are gonna suffer. It's what you voted for. You can't vote for a perfect person. There is one. There is none. Look at Jesus. He did everything he possibly could, and they killed him too. So that's what everybody has to understand. A lot of people would love to have him because a lot of people actually have common sense and have to understand that that man is doing everything he can. He's getting 80 years old this year. You know what I'm saying? That guy's like, he doesn't even have to do that shit. He should be retired, sitting up, drinking margaritas and playing golf. Instead, he's running the United States and the world. He's trying to do everything he can to make it better. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. There you go. I remember in Trump's first term, right? I was on here and I had big arguments with people. I lost a lot of friends because I supported him, right? I liked Trump before he was president because he used to have those shows on TV, right? Where he fired people and shit, and can't remember what it was called. But he had like he was always in the spotlight, in the limelight. He was always like funny and shit, and he was like that gangster type of rich guy, right? You know, he always had bitches around him and stuff. And he obviously he did a lot of he did dumb shit, obviously here and there. I'm sure of it. You know, but look what he's doing now. Like, you know, he's old enough to know what's going on, and he's doing what he can. He's not perfect, no, and he never will be. And he's never gonna satisfy everybody. And there's some things I don't like about him, but there's majority of the things I do like about him. I like the fact that he's actually fighting crime and trying to stop these wars. Nobody wants to live in a country full of war, man. One of my best friends is from Ukraine, and she had to flee the country and go to somewhere else in Europe to have a better life. You know, I felt sorry for her. She's like, Mark, I gotta get out of here. I'm hearing bombs every day. I felt so bad for her. I was like, what the fuck, man? She's like, yeah, me and my boyfriend are going. We're getting out of here. We can't live here anymore. We have to go. So they went to another place, which I'm not gonna say, obviously nobody's business, but they had to leave because of that war shit. And then my friend in Germany, he said a lot of immigrants from Ukraine and Syria came to Germany and now they're ruining Germany. Germany's like a shithole now in a lot of areas. He even showed me some footage this past weekend of Berlin being all destroyed by these bastards that came from other countries. See? So here you have a man that wants to resolve these things and wants you to stay in your own damn country, but you don't want to because there's war and bullshit and crime. So just imagine how Venezuela is going to be now. Those people can actually live a better life now because this bastard's not there. And they're going to have a better, you know, the United States is running Venezuela jointly with, you know, the other people. And a lot of those Venezuelans said that he wasn't even the president. He just claimed to be the president. He said that guy never got elected. He stole the election. That's what they said. And I believe it. When you got drug money, you can do what you want. You can pay cartels to kill people and shit. And you can lock yourself up in a place and you can do whatever the fuck you want. If another country leader does not step in and do something, right? Then it's never gonna get solved. And that's what happened this week. Is it finally got resolved. It finally got rid of that bad bastard. It happens, you know. Exactly. But nobody cares about that shit because they don't live there, right? So you and I don't live there, so we don't know the real story. But we hear of it and we know about it. But the good thing is social media, where you get a lot of people who prove that, you know, what happened was the best thing that happened to their country. Finally, somebody did it. And all it is at the end of the day is, you know, protecting the people, protect the people. That's all. Who cares about these dictators? And they gotta go. They gotta get out of here. People gotta stop treating people like shit. These poor people felt like slaves there. You know, people always talking about slavery and shit. Those people were the slaves to that bastard. So how do you think they feel living there and they have no way to get out? There are so many Venezuelan people that are in the United States saying that if they were still there, they wouldn't even be having they wouldn't have no food to eat. They'd be living under that dictatorship and be like living in poverty. I believe it. A lot of those people admitted it that you know they were living like shit. The economy shit, everything is shit. Nobody wants to live like that. I feel sorry for those people, especially the ones that can't do anything. One guy said on the news that they were making a couple $1,000s a month, and then when that guy took over, they started making a couple $100s a month, and were living like very badly. And I was like, see, there you go. Guys on the news telling the truth. He's there saying, look, I live in Venezuela. I came here because of this guy who fucked up my country. You know. And then somebody in the comments said, this guy's paid to tell lies. I'm like, these people buy something else. I mean, it could be true, right? But I highly doubt it. I don't really believe too much things anyway, but you could tell when somebody's lying. But every country has its flaws. Even here in Bermuda, a lot of people are mad because the prices are too high, the rent is high. And now what's happening in Bermuda, what's really bad this past year was there's a lot of people who have apartments and they don't rent them with leases or anything like that. They just like, if they what they do now is they Airbnb it. So if a tourist or somebody from away comes here, they're gonna rent it to them and not to a local. Like they don't want locals to rent their apartments anymore because one, they can't pay the rent. Two, they complain and they treat the place like shit. So they said, okay, fuck you. My house is paid for. I just need some income from people who want to use my apartment as an Airbnb. They come for a week and they're gone. That's it. That's what a lot of Bermudians are doing now because they refuse to rent their apartments to a bunch of jackasses that are locals here that can't even afford it and have back pay and, oh, I can't go nowhere. You got to feel sorry for me. I got to live here until I find another place. There's some people here that live out of their cars, which is weird for Bermuda, but it happens. I've heard of a lot of people living out of their cars because it's too expensive. It's too expensive to have an apartment. It's too expensive to have a house. It's too expensive for every to even live here. This is one of the most expensive countries in the world, top 10. And it's like a lot of people are just, suffering. But a lot of people just don't want to work. If you work and you save your money and don't live amongst your means, then you'll be fine in Bermuda. You'll be able to handle it. I guarantee you. Because if I can do it, you can do it. But you don't want to work. You don't want to save your money. I haven't been on a fucking trip in 6 years. This month will make 6 years I haven't traveled because I wanted to save my money because I knew I had to buy a van. I have to buy groceries. The cost of living is high. I need to, pay for shit so I can live. Like who the fuck you think I am? You think I was born with a fucking gold spoon in my mouth? Hell no. I gotta work for everything I have. And that's what the problem is. People don't want to work. They would just want to go like this. Come on, man, lend me some money. Feel sorry for me. No. No, I'm not feeling sorry for you because if you can function, you have all five of your senses. You have limbs, you have arms, legs, and you can work, go fucking work. Yeah, exactly. Your friend lives in a van and it's expensive because you still got to pay for petrol. You still got to pay for gas, diesel, whatever. It's all expensive. So if you live in a car, it's still expensive. You still got to buy groceries. You ain't got nothing. You probably got to buy a barbecue or to cook your food, or like you got to buy gas to put on your little burner to cook shit. It's still a task. You still got to buy shit to put in that van to live. You got to buy a pillow. You got to buy fucking, blankets and, pull out bed or something or tie a hammock in that bitch, it's still expensive period to live. You still got to pay bills. And every month comes quick. Before you know, you have to pay your bills again. Time's flying. But you know what? I honestly will say this because I feel this and I feel like what I'm saying is the way we should live our lives. If you find a job, right, and you work and you feel like it's not enough, then you either can better your education to get a better job or get another job, get two jobs. And work as hard as you can now. So that way in the end you can enjoy yourself or not work as much because you have money saved. Right? So if you're like my age, right? And you're like not really working every day because you don't have to because you got money in the bank and you have your bills paid and you're just trying to like get through every day and just not live amongst your means. You can live perfectly fine because you're doing something. You worked your ass off to get where you are now. And all you got to do is maintain a level where you can pay your bills and you be okay, right? Even if you're not saving a whole heap of money, the main thing is paying your bills so you don't, get locked up or shut down, right? Or have your shit shut off. And that's all you really need. But see, a lot of people like to live amongst their means. They need the latest, phone. They need this, they need that. They don't really need it, they want it. And then they end up living amongst their means and they go broke. And then when you try to go work 2 jobs and try to catch up, you're gonna end up working to the day you die. And that's the biggest problem. People don't want to work and they don't want to sacrifice. They don't want to, save their money. They want to live amongst their means. And then this notion of oh, um, I can die tomorrow, because my friend died and he left everything behind. So I'm gonna go live my life. I'm gonna spend all my fucking money because I'm gonna die tomorrow. No, jackass. Because if that was the case, a lot of people will do the same thing. If you had a contract and said on January 4th you're gonna die, obviously you're gonna spend all your money and do what you want, right? If you want to do that. Some people could care less. But when you're gone, you have no say anyway. Anything that's valid is the will on who you gave shit to. That's it. But otherwise, that you can't take that shit with you. And but a lot of people are like kind of tearing the ass out of that mentality, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spend my money because I can die tomorrow. Yeah, that's true. But what happens if you don't die tomorrow? What happens if you die 20 years from now? You're gonna regret spending all your money, you dumb fuck. So don't do that. What you gotta do is not live amongst your means. It's very simple. Don't live more than what you can handle. So that way you don't have to work hard. Because if you save your money and you don't buy stupid shit and you don't waste your money, then you'll live a better life. So one of the main things that we pay for that's expensive is food. So don't go to Domino's or McDonald's and spend 20 fucking bucks on breakfast, another $20 on lunch. Stop getting takeout and stop spending almost $60 to $100 a day on food. Go get a fucking loaf of bread. Go get some tuna fish, peanut butter and jelly, cold cuts, some mayo and some condiments, and live your life like that. Go get some fucking eggs. Make your food at home. You'll save more money if you make your own food, depending on what. Don't go buy steaks and lobsters every damn day. Eat decent. Eat salads. Eat chicken. Go to a bulk store and get a big ass bag of chicken or fish. Go see how prices are. Like shop with common sense. Don't live amongst your damn means, and then you'll be able to live comfortably. What's the wrong? What's the problem with that? Fuck that shit. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Okay, well then don't complain to me when you live amongst your means. Exactly. I don't live amongst my damn means. Hell no. Some people think I do because I talk about lobster on here. I only eat lobster once a month. If I ate a $50 lobster every week, I'll be broke too. You think I'm gonna buy a $50 lobster every fucking week to eat in a matter of minutes? Hell no. $50 I can buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And breakfast the next day if I eat the right thing and get the right thing. Right? With 50 bucks, even though the world is the way it is with expensive groceries, you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 50 bucks. It depends on what you get. I could wake up in the morning and go microwave a breakfast sandwich that costs $3 and a cup of coffee. That made $5 for my breakfast. Lunchtime, I can get 2 slices of bread, make a turkey sandwich, and a fucking bottle of water. That's another $5 to $10. And dinner, I can go make a homemade pizza. I can get some vegetables and eat broccoli and fucking chicken breast. And that's gonna cost me probably like another 10, 15 bucks. I could spend $30 a day just on food to eat at home. But if you go to a restaurant, that $30 is just gonna be for breakfast and lunch, if that. You can't buy breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a restaurant for that little bit of money unless you're buying trash. But unless you're eating a burger and fries for every meal. And even then, you can't even get a burger and fries for $10 nowadays. That ain't happening. Here I'm talking about you can't get no burger and fries for no $10. That ain't happening. There's no place in Bermuda you can get a burger and fries and a drink for $10. No way in hell. It ain't happening. And if you do, it's shit. You're not getting your money's worth. It's gonna be like a bunch of bullshit. And it'll probably get you heartburn or the shits. But I can go to the grocery store and buy a box of 8 frozen patties for $6.99. I can go get 8 rolls of hamburger rolls in a bag for probably another maybe $7 or $8. And I can get a bottle of mayonnaise that would last me all like for 6, 7 months, depending on how long you're gonna eat the mayonnaise or if you eat it every day. And I'll still save a whole heap of money from going to the grocery store. I mean, going to a restaurant buying burgers and fries. You can get a bag of frozen fries or even make your own fries like me. I get a bag of potatoes and chop up the potatoes and put it in the fryer. It's easy. You can get a lobster for £6. Yeah, that's a miracle. Here, it costs $50 per lobster, and that's an average lobster. That's not big. That's just like enough for one person to eat. For my mom and sister's Christmas present, I bought myself a lobster, my mom a lobster, and my sister a lobster. That was 150. I bought 3 heads of lettuce, and we had a salad, and then we had stove top in a box. You know the one you make the stuffing, and I put it on the lobster. And that was my Christmas present to my mom and my sister, and to myself. And we ate it last night. Because I said, whenever you're ready, I'll make the lobster and we'll hang out. And that's it. Simple. And they enjoyed it. They said it was amazing and it was really good. Of course it is, because I made it. But if I were to go to the restaurant and I were to sit my mom and my sister and myself down, so I paid 150. I paid 150 for 3 lobsters. I spent another $9 on the lettuce. And then my sister had the rest of the stuff there. We put olives, Parmesan cheese, and creamy Caesar on it. That was hers. And then the stuffing was like probably $4 for the box. And like I said, that was it. So let's just say lobster stuffing and salad, $60 each. So 6 and 3 is 180. If I were to go to a restaurant, all 3 of us, and get a whole lobster and some fries or vegetables or a salad, it would cost triple that. If you get a whole lobster in Bermuda, it's going to cost you $100. And then you got to pay gratuities on top of that. So 3 people, $300 plus gratuities, it'll be about 340, something like that. So I spent half of that by making it myself. Half. So what are you going to do? Go to a restaurant and spend all that money, or you're going to do it at home? I'm going to do it at home. And it tastes better, and it's cheaper, and I make it my damn self. I know my hands have been on it, not some other fucking weird idiot's hands all over. Okay, cool. Yeah, here we have a lot of in England, and here is two different types of food. My nephew, he's out there in Bournemouth College, and he says his mates eat everything different. They cook things different. They make things different. He says he's never eaten certain things before. They have a lot of different things out there. See, Bermuda has more of a seafood type of menu. We have fish, lobster, crabs. We have tons of fish and lobsters and crabs, and we just have a lot of things. Mussels. We don't really have shrimp in our ocean here, but we eat shrimp and shit. And we have farms that produce vegetables and stuff. So we have our own homegrown shit. And Bermuda can be fed on those things. We have them at restaurants, and we can get it ourselves. Fresh right off the side of the road, or go get it ourselves. Go fishing, or get a farm. Oat cakes? No, I haven't. No, I don't really eat oatmeal or oat anything. No oat, no goat, no none of that shit. I don't really like the taste of oats. That's not my thing. But yeah, I know. I have a feeling I know what you're talking about. But um, yeah, we don't. I don't have that. I don't eat that stuff. For breakfast, I had a coffee and a cheese sandwich. And for lunch, I had the leftover fish with potatoes. That was the two meals I ate today. And I've had like a little bit of chips when I was watching the game. And then tonight, in about another hour, I'm gonna go to my mom's, and I'm gonna get a pizza and some wings. And that's it, because I'm not cooking tonight. I already cooked twice already today. So I told my mom we're gonna have pizza tonight. I'm gonna go hang out with her tonight and have some pizza and wings. And mom's paying for it tonight because I gave her a lobster yesterday. So she says she wants to pay for the pizza and wings. So I'll let her, you know. And it's gonna come right back to her anyway. But yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight. And that's it. Simple as that. So simple. But pizza here is expensive now. Everything's expensive, man. That's why I don't eat out no more. I barely go to a restaurant, or I barely get takeout. And if I do get takeout, I only get it from one place in particular, and their prices are pretty decent. And even though their prices are high too, you get quality food, and you get like food that's worth the price. Whereas you can be paying for shit, right? They're like flat pancake originates from Stoke on Trent. Okay. Okay, 'cause I'm gonna ask my nephew if he's heard of 'em. I'm sure he has. 'Cause he's been in UK for a couple months now, since September. But he says he doesn't really like too much of the food there, so he makes his own. It's the same thing with me. There's a lot of Bermudian dishes that I don't eat and don't like. One of the main most popular dishes in Bermuda is codfish and potatoes, and I can't stand codfish. I like potatoes, but not codfish. Codfish is disgusting. I rather eat snapper and wahoo and tuna. I can't eat no damn codfish. Ugh, that shit's gross. But that's one of the main meals here, and they have banana and plankton with it, sauce and all that. People love that shit in Bermuda for breakfast and lunch and dinner. They'll eat that shit all the time. Fish cakes they eat here out of the codfish. I can't eat all that type of shit. I'm not really a fan of codfish. I love fish, but not codfish. Codfish is like a bullshit ass fish. It's got to be cooked perfect in order for me to want to eat it. But I normally don't. Fuck that trash. Yeah, see, like you eat three with cheese and bacon and roll them up. See, there you go. That's good. At least you're not buying some trash from, some place that has shitty food. Takeout's just too expensive, and you don't know where that shit's coming from. You don't know if they heated it up and gave it to you, if it's from last night or yesterday or 2 days ago. I always, my stomach always pays for a takeout all the time. My stomach goes nuts when I eat certain takeout. My stomach's like, what the fuck is this? Oh hell no, this ain't your food, Marky. What the hell did you just put in my stomach? That's how my stomach feels. It's like, what the hell are you eating? All right, guys, I'm gonna go watch the Patriots play, and I'm gonna go get prepared to go to my mom's in about half an hour. I'm gonna go down there, so I'm gonna go watch a little bit of the game. Then I'm gonna go to my mom's and eat dinner, and I'll be back tonight, probably like maybe 8 o'clock. So it's 5:30 here, so I would say another 2.5, 3 hours. I'll be back. I don't have nothing to do tonight, so yeah. Oh, I can't stand McDonald's. I don't really eat McDonald's. Even when I go away, I don't eat McDonald's. We don't even have McDonald's here. We have like our own, and it's way better. I've never been a fan of McDonald's, to be honest. I like Burger King better, but I'm a Chick-fil-A person. I like chicken. I don't really like to eat too much burgers and shit like that. It's very rare that I'll go eat that type of stuff. I'd rather go to Panda Express, man, when I'm in the States. All right, Dan. I'll see you tonight. Sis told me that it's been raining a lot where she is, and she was gonna go in the RV to the park, but then she canceled that and she ended up staying home and at the RV because she said it's pouring there. So she's okay though. She's in the RV just chilling, working. She was with me all morning in here, but now she's probably in the RV chilling. But she said she's gonna go grocery shopping and do a live later. So I don't know if you've spoken to her, but that's the update on sis. All right, Matt. See you later, bro. Thanks for hanging out, Dan. I'll see you guys later on. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Exactly. Burger King's better.